Greetings from Mobility Outlook and welcome to Women in Mobility. Our guest for today is Ms. Shradha Suri Marwah. She is the President of ACMA. Shradha, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Shradha Suri Marwah is the Chairperson and Managing Director of Subros Limited, a stalwart in the design and manufacture of thermal products for both passenger and commercial vehicles. Shradha's journey with Subros began in 2001, and over the years, she played pivotal roles, ascending to the position of Managing Director in 2008 and further taking the helm as Chairperson and Managing Director in 2021. Not just a leader within her company, Shradha is a prominent figure in the automotive sector, currently serving as the President of ACMA, the Automotive Component Manufacturers Association. Her extensive involvement in ACMA includes chairing Pillar 1 for Business Development and co-chairing Pillar 2 for Government Affairs and Strategic Affairs. Her commitment to the industry is evident through her diverse portfolio, having chaired committees on raw material, MSME, and HR and IR sub-pillars since 2013. Shradha is not just a leader in the automotive realm. She is also a distinguished member of the CIA Northern Regional Council, co-chairing the CIA Northern Regional Committee on Advanced Manufacturing. Additionally, she holds a position on the CIA Manufacturing Council and is a special invitee to the CIA National Council for the year 2023-24. As an executive committee member of Maruti Suzuki Supplier Welfare Association, she contributes to shaping industry welfare initiatives. Academically, Shradha is a proud alumna of the University of Delhi, holding a bachelor's degree in economics. Furthering her education, she earned 2 postgraduate degrees, a master's in management and another in economics and information systems from the prestigious London School of Economics and Political Science, University of London. Join me in welcoming Shradha Suri Marwah, a visionary leader shaping the future of automotive manufacturing and business development in India. Welcome, Shradha. You come from a family which is completely into automobiles, automotive industry, manufacturing, etc. But what made you to choose economics in your undergraduate?
I was always a very academic kid, and what I really enjoyed was math and statistics. Once I was finishing my high school, there were two things that I really, could or wanted to do. One was either go into mathematics or economics. I chose economics because economics actually is a much broader, it's a broader theme, and it also amalgamates the concepts of business as well as, various other external factors and for decision making. So that's why.
Okay, I think when you pursued your masters, I think you did economics and systems, right?
Yes, that's correct. So actually, after I finished my undergrad here at Hindu College, Delhi University, I first actually went and did one master's in the UK, which was in business administration, to actually get a full flavor of business administration. But what I really enjoyed was economics and econometrics. So then I went back to the LSE and did, and this time it was economics along with information systems, which was very interesting back in the day. I mean, today everyone's doing it, but back in the day, it actually spoke about how to make systems and processes and use small bits of AI to do so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, even then?
Yes, I'm talking 2000.
2000,
yes.
Right. 23 years ago there was AI and then you were able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, now when I look back, it's very similar, yes.
Okay, okay. How is it actually helping you in the day-to-day affairs of the company?
I think what the base education in economics actually does is it makes you analytical. So when you're doing business strategy or even modeling or even looking at like a 10-year projection, a lot of my learnings in economics and statistics actually comes into play. So I use it quite a bit.
So, like for example, for the business using historical data, and how do you predict the future?
Yeah,
is that
so
right?
Initially, I mean, now I don't do it anymore, but I used to make predictive tools and stuff like that, using both my IT skills as well as my economics skills to, predict consumer demand and stuff like that. And whilst doing that, what actually happens is you go deep into what is actually happening in your organization as well as in the business scenario around you. Everything's about demand and supply at the end of the day. So before I joined Subros, I did work in the UK for a bit, for just about a year or so. And when I came back, the verticals that I look after now are actually the auto component manufacturing as well as the auto retail. But I started work in the auto component manufacturing, and I actually started working in the information systems and IT department, because way back when I came back in 2001, we started, the first thing I did was actually try and implement a good ERP, and we implemented SAP in 2003.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So early.
yeah. And through that journey, I actually learned all the processes that were there in the organization. It gave me a deep insight of how things are done. And from there, I went on to the shop floor. So I didn't start from the shop floor. I started from, from IT and implementing SAP.
What were the challenges when you went to the shop floor first time?
Those times were a bit different. There were very few women in the workforce. I think we were hardly 2 or 3. So there was I didn't have an issue, but I think the rest of the ecosystem didn't know how to deal with me. So I think that was a challenge. Also, I do think that as an organization, we were still learning good manufacturing practices, process engineering, how to use IT to your advantage. So we were still at very early days. It actually started with, we had a huge crisis because there was a technology shift in the year 2004-05 that we had to face. And, it came to a point where it was, further business was going to come into question. And that's when I actually jumped in and started understanding the technology of our product. I think from there on, I led a small team. I was part of a small team, then I led the team, and then, with the collaborators and with the customer, and actually how to make the technology roadmap robust enough for it to withstand these changes. The other big pivot that happened for me was in 2016. One of our largest plants caught fire, and it 4 lakh square feet came to the floor. It is a direct online plant to one of our largest customers, and in 13 days we actually started supply. In 30 days it was almost 60%. We recreated the plant in 9 months, and in 60 days we were at 100% supply. And there I have to thank not just my team, but also our customer, our collaborator, and our supplier base. They really came forward, and we used their premises, So the whole organization worked as a whole, as one. So that's how this concept of one Subros actually came.
One Subros,
yeah.
Okay. So if you can share a little bit about the particular 60 days, the challenge, 0 to 100 in 60 days.
Yeah. So the first thing we did is we actually disintegrated the entire org structure of the company and said the org structure doesn't exist. Everyone is equal. We are going to now break the entire structure into problem solving teams. So we made small problem. Every team was given a problem, and there was a leader, irrespective of hierarchy. The leader depended upon the skill that he or she had, and we went out there as little small armies, each one with a small problem. We would meet at the beginning of the day. We would meet at the end of the day. We were clear as to what we needed to do and how.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, we would be like, what were we supposed to do today? What have we done? What needs to be done? Whose intervention is required? And we went on like that. We worked 24/7.
Wow.
But our entire team, right from the lowest to the highest, worked day and night. Our entire supplier base worked overnight. Our customer supported us immensely, and our partner also supported us immensely. So I think it was great teamwork.
Were women part of that initiative?
Of course, everybody was part of the initiative.
Yeah.
Everybody, including support staff, guards, anybody and everybody was part of the initiative.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the key decisions that you made that has impacted, a section or a company as a whole?
So, we started making, what we started making was, other than making a 5-year business plan, we realized that the ecosystem is moving so fast, with mobility changing in such a transformational way. What we've actually started doing is making a technology roadmap, which we should have done way earlier, but now we're making a 5-year, 10-year technology roadmap, aligning it to the way we think that technology is pivoting and going. both for traditional as well as new technologies. So I think that's very, very critical. Empowering people is extremely critical.
Yeah,
Okay, because I do believe that people are our biggest asset, and for the skills that they bring to the table, they are better than what we are, and we are better as a team than as an individual. So I think all this together took us through. We also built strong and deep relationships with our supplier base, our partners, as well as our customers. So so there are no surprises. Empowering everybody.
everybody.
You can't, empower one section of society of the workforce and not empower the others.
What's your view on diversity, equity, and inclusion?
I think that it's becoming better. We are becoming better. When I joined, I said the women workforce was in points, sub 1. Now we are currently at 7%. We want to go to 15% and then 20%. But I think our industry, we're still lagging behind. That's my honest opinion. There are pockets in some companies which are doing a great and phenomenal job. There are others who are not able to do it. We have a long way to go.
How do you describe your approach, leadership approach? Because in some places you have to be very flexible, in some places you have to be...
So I think I'm firm and polite. I'm polite yet I'm very firm. We work in a very collaborative manner in the organization. We've empowered the teams, and not just in this organization, in my entire portfolio. So we've empowered the teams. So each team, and they are doing what they're supposed to do. We have an executive committee which is doing decision making up to one level, and then we have a strategic executive committee which is doing the next level of future planning and thinking, and then there's me. But when it comes to basics like quality, when it comes to people, then no compromises.
Okay.
Yeah.
Empowering women, you said. No. But how do you describe the leadership journey for women in your organization?
So I think one of the biggest challenges I'm facing is that while we have women workforce at the lower level is growing, as life goes on, women do drop off the workforce for reasons we all know. We have to make our environment enabled enough for them to come back in without taking a huge setback, not start at zero again. So that's why you see as you go up, you'll see lesser and lesser women.
Correct.
And that's what we need to focus on.
Correct. But how do you address that? Because that's a key issue, re-employment, no?
Yeah, so we have to actually go back into, we have to go back and attract women who are now ready to come back to the workforce without actually reprimanding them for the time that they've lost.
Okay.
That's
a great thing to encourage them. That's great. And so your position calls for a lot of travel. ACMA president, you need to go. I don't know how many meetings you will have every day. How do you strike a balance between work and life?
Yeah, so I think that, it's difficult, but I think life is role play. At the moment, priorities leading ACMA. So I've been able to, organize, our organizations are quite, well delegated and professionally run. And sometimes being away actually helps the organization. So let's see what it is at 2 years down when I go back in.
Okay, great. And in many organizations, the gender diversity, they still not gelling well with them.
Yeah.
What do you see as an impediment for them, and then what is your prescription for them?
So I think that the pushback comes that people don't want to invest too much in the women workforce because they feel that at some point they will drop off, which I think is a very short-term view, because they may drop off but they will come back on, and whilst they are on the job, I think training is everybody's right and the organization's responsibility. The other thing is that when you're working in shifts, sometimes it becomes difficult for women to work in the night shifts, etc. But you know what? I think we can work around it. It's not an impossible situation. So I think men have to change their mindset. The women are ready. Yeah.
That's interesting. So what is your message for the young women to get into manufacturing?
I think this is the decade of manufacturing. I think this is the decade of auto components, mobility. It's a very, very exciting time. There's so much happening. Technology is at an inflection point. Our whole industry is at an inflection point. So there's going to be no learning like there will be learning here. There'll be no growth like there's going to be growth here. So, this is where you guys need to be.
this is the right time. You say.
Right, absolutely.
Shradha, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.